The following actual play may be considered disturbing by some audiences. This video may contain explicit language, violence, and depictions of trauma. This may not be suitable for viewers under the age of 18. Viewer discretion is advised.
The group of adventurers faced off with a strange humanoid figure. Farron, through use of his primeval awareness, deduced that the creature was, in fact, undead. The cold light walker rushed the party and quickly began to deal heavy damage. Zeke fell, but with Laurel's hearing, spirit was revived quickly. Upon coming to consciousness, Zeke noticed that, although he was down for only a few seconds, an unnatural amount of frost had started to cover his body. Call and Farron rushed in, making several devastating attacks. Elena, in an effort to protect her comrades, blasted the walker with a fiery chromatic orb, searing it. A near blinding light emanated from the figure, and it collapsed into a pile of just its clothes and furs. Upon investigating the clothing and the contents of its pockets, the party was able to discern that, in life, this was a resident of the 10 towns that was sacrificed to appease Oral. Drengir spoke again to the party and told them that the sacrifices were made for the past 2 years on the new and full moons. Some towns, those that do not sacrifice people, sacrificed warmth and light instead. Farron recalled that with his primeval awareness he could sense a large amount of undead within his 6 miles, but none to the south, leading them to believe that a number of people had been sacrificed. Northeastward they continued, into the tundra of Icewind Dale. Dinner was had and the situation was pondered over. Maxwell, who was starting to see Zeke as a type of mentor, blamed the Nominati for the strangeness. Having been quiet for a time, seemingly lost in thought, Saxter stood suddenly and proclaimed the new name of his corporation, Saxter's Headquarters for Adventurers Not Intentionally Looking for Death, LLC, now SHAILD, and that his new employees could be his agents. Further into the tundra, odd dark shapes were seen off the eastern side of the road. Wary after their latest encounter, the Agents of SHAILD took precautions. Farron checked in with his primeval awareness and didn't sense any local threats. Elena tried to clear the path with a flaming chromatic orb that exploded when it reached these shapes. An investigation of the site showed it to be the site of a Yeti attack on some poor travelers, with the largest beast likely being twice the size of Call. Returning to the caravan, the gentle glow of Bryn Shander, the largest of the 10 towns, could be seen in the distance. And that's where we will pick back up.
Well, let's get to the town. How close are we to the town?
Midge kind of looks off. Oh, we'll be there shortly. I believe we did end last episode at a long rest. I think I forgot that in there. So this would be the following morning, heading towards Bryn Shander.
Oh, great.
It would be there in maybe in an hour or two.
Good. Then we should probably figure out what we need to do. Probably get in touch with their leaders, or whoever's in charge. Find who's in charge, and see what the situation is.
I sent word to Speaker Shane last night. Her and Sheriff Southwell will be expecting us at Town Hall shortly after noon today.
Thanks, Midge. Any suggestions or any ideas of what we can do is absolutely welcome. It's very appreciated. We are a team, after all.
Yes, as my husband has proclaimed, you are agents of this corporation now, and I must ensure that you are well prepared both informationally and as best I can with items.
We appreciate that, Midge.
Onward the caravan goes. Anybody outside will notice that it is still dark outside. only a few clouds to the sky. The glow of the town glows brighter as you get closer, and you notice that there is a wall around it, very similar to the wall around Hundleston. There are more towers across it. Many of them seem to be kind of ramshackle, built up to protect just against the wind. And you see light coming from within each one of them, and movement. This town does appear to be significantly more populated than Hundleston. As the caravan approaches the gate, a guard steps out of the shack to the side of a gate. He goes, "All right there, what's going on? Can I help you there?" Midge is like, "We are, Saxter's group here. Speaker Shane said we'd be coming." Oh, did she now? All right, well, I'll just be right back." He heads off and heads back in and comes back out. He's like, "Oh, sure, yeah, head on in there." And they open the gate.
How tall? How big is this gate?
About 15 to 20 feet tall, and almost twice as wide. It's a big gate.
And the wall surrounding the town is roughly
about the same height as the gate.
Great. Okay. And what is the wall made of?
Stone and trees.
So, how like sturdiness level?
Oh, quite sturdy.
Okay. Wonderful. I guess we should go directly to Speaker Duvessa. Right?
We should, yes.
That seems like a good idea, but I don't think we should drive the caravan straight through town. So,
No.
we'll find a place to park it, hopefully somewhere near the entrance. I do have a map, so I will go. Okay. So you all come in via the southwest gate. There are some stables just to the side with a area large enough for the caravan to park. Some handlers come out, and you see that they're, completely bundled up. More so than even some the victims you saw the previous day. More so than the Cold Light Walker. These people almost look like they can't move their arms properly. They're so bundled up. And their faces, it is just their eyes. They try to tend to the aurochs, and both the Maxes kind of shoo them off to take care of it themselves. And from there, looking around the streets, there's no one on the streets. There are lights within many of the houses, but all of the shutters are closed, and you can only see what little light spills from behind. Midge asks one of the caretakers at the tavern, at the stables, "Which way to town hall there?" And they don't answer, but they point, and they point down the main thoroughfare that you started coming in that heads to the center of town. And you hear one of them, "It's the big building near the center of town," as they're trying to yell through their muffle.
So
are we making our way towards this building?
Bundle up, and we should bundle up and go, too.
Yeah, absolutely. And Midge offered us some hats and gloves and whatnots, so...
Yes, you do all have cold weather
definitely
gear.
tuck my ears on that. All of them, all at once. Just kidding.
Right, can I have everybody make a perception
Making the
check
trek
as you're
across
heading towards
town.
the center of town? Perception check from everybody, please.
15.
Okay.
14.
12.
25?
That's like an 8.
Okay, so I think it was only Zeke and Elena that got 15 or higher. You notice in several of the buildings that the light kind of shifts, you can pretty much gauge that somebody might be peeking out because there are new people in town. Zeke, you can hear people whispering behind the walls, talking about strangers and travelers, and just with your passive insight, they sound very suspicious.
Like Nominati suspicious?
Nowhere near
Or...
as suspicious as you are. Just suspicious of the travelers.
Okay. I am suspicious of them.
Fair.
Yeah.
Further into the center of town you all walk. You do notice that there are some houses, maybe about half, that there are no lights within. Some of them, the doors and windows are wide open, and you can see frost and snow inside the buildings.
Gods. Like just from neglect, I assume, or is it like unnaturally manifested? Is there a way to tell that?
Yeah, you could roll an Arcana check.
This unnatural winter has been going on for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's an 8.
You're definitely sure there is some neglect. It's possible some of these homes were abandoned by the refugees.
Elena visibly casts a kind of a sad sort of glance toward any of the sad-looking, cold little houses.
Closer towards the center of town, you see the town square. It is reasonably large, about 250 feet by 500 feet, with some smaller buildings. They look like it looks like it might have been a marketplace in better weather, but the biting wind, the everlasting night, these market stalls look like they've been abandoned. One large building at the southern end of the square definitely has that like town hall look to it. And as you guys get closer, you can see Bryn Shander Town Hall right on a sign next to it.
Are there any other familiar sort of buildings that we see along the way, like a general store and maybe a tavern?
On the path you took, unfortunately not.
Okay, that's fine.
Did we see other people out and about on our trek? Are there a lot of people out at all? Or
You saw not a single other person.
Ooh.
The only sign of life are the lights and movement coming from within some of the houses.
Forgot to mention, because the narrating was just so wonderful, I didn't want to break it. Elena would have mentioned that there are people in the houses with lights, obviously. Look like they were trying to take a peek at us and just like, oh, someone's trying to see that we're here.
Are there, I don't know how snowy, but are there tracks? Like, does it look like people have at least been moving around at all? Or are people do they stick to their houses?
There's definitely towards the side, both sides of the path, the main thoroughfare, you can see a path that has been tread several times, enough to be worn down for footpath, and you do see cart and horse paths going down the center. Just nothing currently. So you all approach the town hall? All right.
Yep.
Midge did not come with you all yet. She's doing some paperwork. However, she did let you know that the Speaker Shane was notified that you five would be heading there. The door, if you reach up to it, it pushes inward, and immediately warmth. You can feel the warm air kind of pushing out. However, the cold wind whips the door open, and you hear from inside, "Close the damn door, won't ya?"
Everybody in, everybody in. Last one in closes the door, please.
And you see
I'll close the door.
You see a guy sitting behind a desk. Human, thinning gray hair, deep-set creases in his face. He's like, "Ah, you all look very strange, you know. I heard about some agents coming to speak with the speaker."
That'll be us. We're the Agents of SHAILD.
Of what now?
SHAILD.
Okay.
Shailed.
Shield, yeah.
I'll take your word for it. Well, if you head down the hallway there, you'll see a door open there on the left, and Speaker Shane and Sheriff Southwell are inside, I believe, waiting for you.
Thank you. Your name was?
Oh, it's Guy.
Thanks, Guy.
Oh, you're welcome. Hey, that's a Canadian name.
Zeke.
But yeah.
I know. My grandfather was it's Guy.
I liked it.
I love this. Zeke would like to just take a quick perception check of the room and make sure isn't anyone like sneakily hiding behind doors or tables or chairs. Just that it's us
Absolutely.
and this dude.
Go for it.
With the guidance, that is a 13.
You don't see anybody else.
Okay.
Do you all head towards the room that you were directed towards?
Yeah, what's the interior of this
Yeah.
place like?
So it's from the outside. It's like an elongated rectangle with one floor and a tall roof. Excuse me. This room itself, it's kind of like it goes this way, and then there's that little hallway up, and there's two rooms, one of which you were directed to, which is Speaker Shane and Sheriff Southwell's office. The other one is closed. On the walls, you see a number of braziers, lots of sconces. There seems to be a lot of extra light than was necessary, probably to throw a little extra heat. There is also a large brazier in the center and two large fireplaces at either end. One at either end, rather. Approaching the office, you can hear soft speaking within. It doesn't sound necessarily hushed. And Zeke, you can, with your passive insight, you can, and probably Laurel's, there is an agitation to their voices.
How many voices?
Two. A
Yeah.
male and a female.
Like towards each other or about something?
Getting closer, you hear the male voice. "I am not going to allow any of those sacrifices to occur in this town. It's bad enough we're sacrificing light and heat. Oh, some of the people are really pushing for it. I don't know if we'll be able to stop it for much longer. I don't want to sacrifice. These are my people. These are our people. But this winter it's bad."
I raise my knuckle to the door and look to Elena. Wrap my knuckle against the door.
And the door is open, and you see that they turn.
Oh.
And they turn to look. Oh. And Speaker Shane's like, "Well, hello there."
Good morning.
Oh,
Howdy.
it is morning, isn't it?
We
Oh,
suppose.
no. Sorry, reacting to chat.
Oh, I haven't been watching. We're the Agents of SHAILD. We are with Saxter, Midge and Saxter. And
I believe
we
Midge
are-
was one of the contacts who tried to reach out to you.
Aye, she sent a book up. Are we? Wait. Sorry, I need to not look at chat over there. So yeah, I received a book a month or so back. and I was told to expect communication via this book. I've been speaking with this Midge woman for a time. She told us she finally happened to... I'm going to cover that up so I stop looking at it.
Sorry.
Where was I?
Not really.
We've been speaking back and forth for a time now. She said that she hired on some well-abled folk, and I would assume that is all you all.
That would be us, yes.
Excellent. Well, I'm not sure how much you know of what's going on here, but it's freaking cold, eh?
It's extremely cold
Very much so.
and dark.
So I hear that there's a witch who may potentially be under the influence of the Nominati, and so we are here to save you and help understand how the Nominati is infiltrating your lovely town.
Oh my God, Zeke, I can't take you
As well
anywhere.
as that, we are also here for that.
Yeah, that was mentioned, and I asked around a bit, and I couldn't find anything. And you see Sheriff Southwell, like, it's just a look of the what?
The Ice Witch
Don't-
Illuminati lady.
Don't.
Listen, I totally understand that you wanted to conduct your own investigation, but seeing as you don't have a whole lot of experience with the Nominati, I think it's best that we here, and I, as a Nominati expert, will help you with your future investigations to really get down to the bottom of this.
I think I can safely leave that investigation in your extremely capable hands.
I appreciate the support, kind sir. And what was your name?
I am Sheriff Markham Southwell. It's a pleasure to meet you all.
Zeke will, with his tiny little hand, is he a human? I can't remember if you said he's a human. Okay.
A little on the taller side. He's a little over 6 feet tall, bald, dark complexion, little goatee. He does kind of squat to shake Zeke's hand. He's like, "Pleasure's mine. Welcome to Bryn Shander."
Thank you. I think that we will do justice by your town, and I think we have other stuff to talk about. Some troubling things we saw on the way here, but just know that our services are here for you.
Well, good. I mean, I'm having trouble enough just taking care of security within the town at this point.
That's what the Nominati does. They create problems. So I can see why that would be so troubling at these times.
Yeah, we've lost nearly a third of our population. Many of them fled southward. Others, well, they haven't been seen.
Do you know what's been happening in town? Security-wise, you said there was...
Yeah, so... I mean, Icewind Dale is a tough place. We're not unused to attacks on people. Usually by yetis or crag cats or something of that sort. We have had word of dwarven-like folk in some of the 10 towns, but I say like because the dwarves that I'm used to are usually tan and hardy looking, and these folk are said to be pale and sallow. There's also been words of strange beacon-like lights outside of town, walking across the tundra.
She
Yeah, we
kind
came
of
across
looks
one of
over.
those.
Actually, yeah. She's gonna kind of glance and look at everyone. Then Cal said what he said.
And the last of all is, we had a murder in town. No suspects yet.
A murder?
Boy, there's a lot been going on in this town.
What was the instrument that what did the doing?
The murder weapon.
Ah, yes, you are so smart. The murder weapon.
I got you.
That I can help you with. And you see him like reach into his pocket and he pulls out a very thick leather glove. And then he opens up a bag that's on his desk and he pulls out a dagger. It's almost a foot in length. It looks very like wicked and curved, and it appears to be made completely of ice. And inside this room, it is probably a good 75 Fahrenheit-ish, so it's a nice, comfortable temperature, and it is solid ice.
So I have to ask, because this is on par with how this goes. Does Zeke suspect that this is magic from the Nominati?
I would like a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh, absolutely.
Save against
That-
Nominati.
That is natural 20 for a 26 in total.
You're not used to the Nominati employing physical weapons. It's always mental or magical. And while this thing definitely appears magical, it is a physical weapon, and that's not their style.
Well, I can tell you for certain that the Nominati was probably not involved with this, but I will, of course, look into things just in case they have employed new ways of getting their little teeth into things.
They outsourcing now?
Would they do that, Cole?
I don't know. You're the expert.
I didn't think that they would do so. I mean, maybe. I'll have to think about it.
Well, besides, I believe we all didn't necessarily agree to help. I mean, we did offer for certainly. I guess, do you require our help in this matter?
The unfortunate thing is I'm the only person left working any amount of security for this town. I would gladly appreciate any help. Speaker Shane speaks up. Any help that you can provide, we're absolutely, I've spoken with Midge, and we've set up a retainer, and money will be sent to you appropriately. So you'll be paid for any help you do.
And we should, as Zeke had mentioned before, we should let you know about the, well, at least individual creature that we've encountered. Farron, if you can help with that. You have a better insight of what it might be, considering you had a feeling of what it was?
I'm not entirely sure, and I'll nod towards Call. But there were prints of something twice his size.
Oh, and then the cold light walker as well.
Oh,
I meant that as well.
Yeah, the torchlight machine guy.
Mm-hmm. One of the beams of light that you say that you've seen around town.
Blue? Is it
yeah.
bluish light?
Yeah.
It was emanating from a person.
Or what was a person.
Potentially one of the sacrifices, potentially. I'm not saying it is, but I'm not saying it isn't either. It's very likely that it is.
Well, I'm glad it's not anybody from here then, because thankfully we've been holding off the humanoid sacrifices here.
Which I think is good because, quite frankly, I don't think it's helping.
I don't see that it would. The towns that we know of that still do the sacrifices, there's only a few of them. One of them is Dugan's Hole. The other one is East Haven. And the last would be Targos.
Okay. Would there be a way to discourage them from sacrificing?
I'd like to hope so, but we were only able to keep it away here because... Have you met any frost druids?
No. I was gonna ask around, but if you know how to locate them, that would be useful.
Unfortunately, the only way we've seen Ravizan, I believe is her name. She had a companion. They haven't been here nearly a year. But they tried to convince us that the only way to appease the ice goddess was through human sacrifice.
Oh, okay. That's
Rude as it is to assume we should only sacrifice humans, first of all. Second of all, that's appalling.
it is.
It also hasn't stopped the forever winter to this point. Why would they think it'd help now?
Times are desperate. People are desperate.
Well, aside from the murder and security, is there anything else in town that needs, or anything else that we can do to help? Any issues that might arise or something like that?
Yeah. Yeah. Anything to prevent you to resort to sacrificing. Is what we're here for, I think.
Any help that can be provided would be outstanding. We do have a working theory on the murder. Because we have heard word from other towns that some murders have happened. And it seems to only apply to the towns that are going to have sacrifices.
Who was the individual that was murdered? Who was the victim? Anyone of note in the town, or?
Yeah, the guy that was murdered here. His name was Argyle Van de Hooten. He's a dwarf. Originally from Goodmead. He fled Goodmead up here, and 2 days later was found.
So, is Goodmead one that does sacrifice or doesn't sacrifice?
It is. It's one of
Oh.
them, yes. Goodmead, Dugan's Hole.
You said Dugan's Hole, East Haven, and Targos.
Dugan's Hole, Goodmead, Targos. Okay, so yeah. Dugan's
Okay,
Hole,
not
Targos.
East Haven.
No, that's my bad.
Okay. Okay, no problem.
One of the murders was in East Haven.
Okay, so Goodmead. Okay.
Yeah,
Great.
the only information we have beyond the weapon is who he was.
From Goodmead, died here, though. Was murdered here?
The knife was found plunged into his back. I don't recommend touching it with your bare hands.
So I would be safe to assume nobody witnessed this murder?
The only information we had was the woman who owned the building he was staying in. Her name is Tilna Mello. He showed up, she said. He paid for a few days. Said he only just wanted a place to stay, nice and warm. And the next morning.
She was the one that found him?
She was.
Perhaps if there's nothing else we need to do here or anything else we can provide help-wise, perhaps we can go and take a look at the scene of crime, unless there's anything anyone else needs to do.
I'll pull my glove back on.
Mm-hmm.
Can I see the dagger?
Sure, and he holds it out to you. He's still, like, got his thick glove on. He still seems to be holding it carefully and passes it to you. And as you take a hold of it, even through your glove, it feels so cold. Without your glove, your hand would probably start to freeze.
Can I get any feeling of, was this, I don't know how to frame the question. Was this made or was this grown? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. You can make an Arcana check or a nature check, either way, to see if it's natural or unnatural.
That's a 21 for nature.
It is unnatural, and it appears to have been made in this shape as opposed to formed from ice into this shape.
Great, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And
Is
I'll gently hand it back.
Is it ice?
It sure appears to be.
It
Seems to
looks
be.
like ice. It's strange. Quickly, we don't mean to take up all of your time, but who were the other people that were murdered? There were 3 murders, you said? Did they all take place here?
No. One of them took place just a couple days ago in Targos, north of here. We haven't received much information about that one other than that it happened.
Right.
Another one that did happen in East Haven.
In East Haven.
It was a halfling woman from Dugan's Hole. Her brother took her in and found her the next morning. Same MO.
Okay.
One of these daggers between the shoulder blades. And he takes it and he puts it back in the pouch, ties it off, puts it on his desk, takes his glove off.
Did he mention when Argyle was murdered? I don't remember. You said Targos was a few days ago.
Mm-hmm.
And the other in East Haven was probably before that?
Yes. I keep putting stuff down and I shouldn't.
I'm asking the hard questions here.
Okay, so Targos is the most recent. Bryn Shander a day before that. And the other murder from East Haven, the halfling woman, was 2 days prior to that one. So the most recent one is 2 days ago in Targos.
Does Zeke know the distance between these towns?
Zeke the Navigator?
No.
Laurel's the Navigator. So
Yeah,
Laurel does have a map of the 10 towns.
Oh.
That was given by Midge, and you would have a pretty good idea how far it is between each of the towns. As soon as so from Bryn Shander to Targos, it's about 3 miles. From Bryn Shander to East Haven is about 13 miles.
How many? I'm sorry.
13 miles to East Haven.
Oh, okay. Yikes. Okay.
Mr. Sheriff, I forgot his name. I was just curious. So, do you think that this was one person that did each of these murders? You said that the East Haven, the halfling, also had the same MO. I don't know what MO means. It must be sheriff lingo. But was the murders were they all the same across the three?
Yeah, it stands for modus operandi. It means the way they were killed, motive and or such. Yes, they died in the exact same fashion.
I thought it meant murder objective. Oh.
See, that's what I thought too, but I didn't want to make any assumptions.
That's easier to say, and it's not inaccurate.
That's true. See, Farron, you're so smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that I'm not from here, so I'm not really sure. Could somebody make it between these towns in that amount of time to murder each of these people? I don't know how good your travel around here is.
Yeah, how do people usually travel? By sled dogs?
Under better circumstances, people travel by horse or axbeak or, something, a caravan even. But once in the 10 towns, it's by foot or by dog sled. There are people that do brave the tundras. There are some trade caravans. There are just some general people that do it. I myself have, not relatively recently, but people do travel out and about between the towns.
How do you recommend? Oh,
I don't know if it could somebody have made it from East Haven and then to here to Bryn Shander and then to Targos all in the few days, or?
I mean, in theory, it takes, under the better circumstances with sled dogs, you could probably make it to East Haven and from here in a single day, and Targos in an afternoon from here.
So maybe so you think that the murderer could have sled dogs?
That, or they are very fast in the snow.
Well, that's not concerning.
Probably sled dogs.
Well, if they have sled dogs, we might be able to find, who they were buying them from.
That's also assuming the murderer is one person. It could very well be more than one person.
See, this is why you're the leader, Elena. I would have never thought of that.
I mean, we don't really have any way of figuring out. We have no suspects at this point, as you say, Sheriff. So, yeah, we need to consider all possibilities, and then one by one, take them out. I think a detective from a novel I read a long time ago said that, or something like that. Or you might have said elementary. I don't know. Maybe.
Excellent.
Perhaps we should go talk to Tilda.
Tilna? Absolutely. That wouldn't be...
Tilna.
All right, to the scene of the crime?
Yes, could you give us some directions?
Absolutely. If you take a little bit of a jaunt out of here, if you go north over towards the Black Blades, the Black Iron Blades, they're just at on the far northern side of the town square. Just north of that is a small building. That's Tilno's house. Black Iron Blades is hard to miss. It's a forge.
And did Argyle know her? Or does she usually take in people? Like, is she just like that type? Or?
Yeah, it's kind of like she rents the room out for extra money.
Oh, okay.
She's reasonably quiet, and she's been pretty shaken up since this. So, take it easy on her if you don't mind.
We'll let Zeke handle the questioning. He's very approachable. In my opinion.
He seems like a wonderful
This
guy.
is true.
Aaron?
It's true.
And she might have had first instance with the Nominati, so we definitely have to go talk to her.
And we should definitely break it very gently, especially if she's been influenced by Nominati. So,
Oh,
hush,
that's a good.
hush.
This is why you're the leader. Oh my goodness, I would never have thought that's a good point.
We should tread carefully for sure.
Absolutely. Maybe you should question her, because I would have just went right in on the questions, and maybe I'm not the one to do that.
Well,
I will need help for this for sure.
Oh, for certain. We'll all go for certain.
if there's anything else that we could be of service for, generally speaking, this is where myself and the speaker are located.
Great.
Thank you so much for the information you've given us so far. And Speaker Shane, I do apologize for the lack of formality, but I guess under the circumstances, we can't really have such things these days.
Oh, it's fine there, you know. It is what it is. Generally speaking, my door is always open. People can come in and chit-chat when they want. Like, I have it, as I just said, an open-door policy.
Is your tavern's door always open? Do they have ale?
Well, it's generally unlocked, yes. Open would be bad because it's cold. But yeah, if you head after you're done speaking with Miss Mello there, if you just continue on north towards the north gate, just by the north gate is the North Look Inn and Tavern.
Thank you. That is great information.
Well,
All right, everyone, shall we?
Let's.
Let's get to it.
so as you head back out to the door, the guy looks at you, he's like, well, stay warm.
Watch out for the Nominati!
Okay. And you head back out. As
I looked, it's not in here, so you're good.
you know, you say gnome, Nominati.
Yes, that's their name.
They're all gnomes?
Sometimes.
Because, we have a gnome in town here. Just one.
Really?
Hmm.
Just the one?
Just the one.
Me?
No,
Because I am. I don't know if you could see.
I had an idea. Yeah, if you head over to the northeastern side there at the House of the Morning Lord, there's a little fellow there by the name of Copper Knobberknocker.
Well, he sounds like a wonderful person. I will definitely check in, see if he's seen anything recently.
Oh, sure. He's an eccentric little fellow.
We all are.
Let's just take a quick pause. And I did not come up with that name. That is in the module, and I will never get rid of it because it is an outstanding name.
That is greatness.
I
was not prepared for that. I was not.
I'm so glad I was muted. I ugly laughed so hard.
So as you all head back outside into the cold, the icy coldness hits you all again, and you pull your cold weather gear nice and tight, and head north across the square. You see the Black Iron Blades. It is one of the most lit up buildings in the entire town. As you cross the square, you can hear the ringing of steel against steel coming from within. Passing the building, you hear most definitely dwarvish, like drinking songs to the beat of the ringing of steel on steel. Just past on the northern side, you do see the small building that the sheriff had talked about for Tilna's house. And it does appear that there is light coming from within.
Kind of see Cole kind of nodding his head as he hears the dwarvish singing.
Elena's gonna make her way inside, followed by anyone else who's coming with.
To
Laurel
Black Iron
Falls.
Blades or to Tilna's house?
Tilna's house. I guess we'll be knocking at this point.
So knocking on the door, you hear some shuffling from within. And you see at the window, the curtains get pulled back and one of the shutters a little bit. You see a face. And you see that it is a younger human female. She closes the curtain, comes over to the door. Hello?
Hi. Are you Tilna?
I am.
We've just come from Speaker Shane and the Sheriff Markham. We were informed that there was an incident that happened here. We were looking into it for Sheriff Markham. Fresh eyes on the perspective of.
Come in. It's cold. It's cold out there. Come on in.
Yes,
All of
it
you,
is.
come on in. Let me
Thank
go
you.
put some tea on.
Oh, thank you. It's very
She-
generous.
That's very kind of you.
She bustles around the small entrance room, which appears to be most of the first floor, kitchen, sitting room, everything, and she puts some tea on. And she says, "You here to ask about Mr. Van Houten?"
Yes, if it's not too much trouble.
Well, I mean, I guess if something could help, I don't know if there's anything I've forgotten.
Just tell us what you told the sheriff. Anything that we're missing, we'll just ask. Is that okay?
Okay. He checked in. He was directed here after stopping at the North Look, and he came here and we talked for a little bit, and I decided that he seemed okay enough. He seemed very distraught. He said his name had come up in the lottery.
Okay. And he ran here to avoid persecution.
I mean, I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to be left out.
Oh, no. We're not blaming at all.
Rightly so. No one's blaming anyone here. Just more information. It's good to know
Right.
context.
I cooked him dinner that evening. He didn't speak a lot. And I told him I'd have breakfast on in the morning. And he said he would never miss breakfast. He missed breakfast.
Ooh.
I walked
Well,
up to
the
his
water's-
room and found him. Face first on the floor. No blood, strangely. The body was cold.
None? What's... Oh.
Was he just face down on the floor? Was there anything sticking out of him or anything like that?
The knife. The knife.
Okay.
Nothing else was disturbed in the room.
Nothing I could tell.
Would you mind if we had a look at the,
Absolutely, and
At the room?
she points to a steep set of stairs at the back that look like they go up into an attic type place. She said, "It's a pretty sparse room. It has it's essentially a converted hayloft. There's not much up there."
Sure. No problem.
And she hands
Head
the
up
key
there.
and lets you guys go investigate.
Okay, let's go investigate.
I say if we want to small group this, I don't think all of us should go and look. Elena is going to indicate that she's going to stick around downstairs with Tilna.
Oh,
It
my
is-
investigation is not good. Okay, never mind. It should not be me.
Anyone who's really good at looking at stuff.
I'm
Zeke?
perceptive, but
While Zeke is walking up, he'd like to be like looking for other people in the house.
You don't even need to make a perception check. There is nowhere for anyone else to be. There is one other, I would say, room off of this main room. It's more like it's a curtained off area where it looks like that's probably Tilna's bedroom. So it's the main room, Tilna's bedroom, and the attic. That's it.
Okay. Then I would just head upstairs with whoever is coming.
I'll go with Zeke.
So heading upstairs, you unlock the latch and open it, and it's dark in there. With your dark vision, you can still see there is kind of like a bed pallet with a sleeping bag on it. It's just like a blanket on top of a pile of hay, a stool, and a wash basin, and those are the only things in the room.
I would like to look for symbols
Absolutely, make an
in
investigation.
the room.
Investigation or perception, just let me know which.
Okay, I'm gonna go with perception. It's a little better, and some guidance to help with that. I'm glad that I chose that. Wow, okay, that's a 12 in total.
You don't see anything else. No symbols, no scratches, just the worn wood of the room, the pallet, and the wash basin.
Is there an entryway besides the way we came? Is there like a window?
There is a window. It looks out into the alleyway on the south side of the building, directly at the black iron blades.
Okay.
Does it look like, is there a spot to climb to this window?
Make a perception check.
Guidance.
15 with the guidance.
Given what you had seen from the outside of the building and how narrow the alleyway is, if someone tried hard, they could get up.
They'd have to be a pretty good athlete, though, right? Is that what I'm getting?
You think that you or Call could probably do it?
Okay.
What about from the roof? Is there a way to the roof from the window?
Only if they climb down the side that has the window. So they have
Okay.
to like scale the wall into the window.
Gotcha. So like basically they'd have to be in that alleyway. Doesn't matter which way they'd come from to get into that.
How far is the Black Blade building away from this window?
It's about a 4 or 5 foot wide alleyway.
Does it seem like someone who could come from the roof of the Black Blade?
Theoretically, yeah.
Okay. So the window is viable, I suppose.
You do notice that the window doesn't lock. It has no lock. And it does not look damaged in any way.
Does it look recently opened? Like, you know, maybe the dust was removed from a certain place.
Nope.
Okay.
And the snow on the outside of the windowsill looks undisturbed as well.
Would Zeke assume that that is because it is always snowing, or that it just hasn't been opened in a while?
Make an intelligence check.
Absolutely.
Or nature, because it's weather.
Okay, I'm gonna go with nature for a 12.
Okay. You would probably think it's because it's kept snowing.
Okay, so it's kind of just hard to tell if it's been opened. Okay. Who else is in the room? Is it just me and Farron, or did somebody else?
I think it's just you and Farron.
Oh, okay. Well, Farron, I don't, I can't tell if this window's been opened recently, and, I don't see any normal Nominati symbols that they would leave behind to mark. So I don't really know what else to look for.
Do we know which way he fell? Like, did he fall towards the door or away from the door?
Don't believe you were told.
Okay.
So downstairs, Tilna serves the tea to the three that are down there. And she's like, I appreciate you looking into this. I only know Mr. Van Houten for the evening, but he seemed genuinely nice and genuinely scared.
Yeah. Anything we can do. Did you see anyone else that day that wished to see Argyle or talk to you?
You know, come to think of it, yes. And she kind of flushes a tiny bit, and she's like, this very handsome man with blue eyes came by the afternoon shortly after Mr. Van Houten checked in, and just...
Were you expecting him?
No. It was a very pleasant surprise. He asked if I had met Mr. Argyle Van Houten. I said, I had. I didn't say he was staying with me.
Okay.
I was very flustered by this man. He was very, very handsome and very
Okay, blue eyes, very handsome.
Striking.
Of course. Is there anything else that you noticed aside from the striking blue eyes?
And he was a stranger?
Yeah.
A stranger, okay.
Yeah, a human fellow. He had darker hair, pulled back in a ponytail, kinda. Streaks of gray across the side of his head. Dressed really nice. Call, I would like you to make a history check.
That's going to be a 14.
The description, with the exception of the eyes, kind of reminds you of your old friend Sefik. But he had brown eyes. You're pretty positive.
Yeah. And you said the color of this guy's eyes is what? You said it was blue?
Like an icy blue.
Strikingly so, I think, was the description.
Yeah, the guy you're describing sounds like an old friend of mine, but his eyes weren't blue.
Really?
Who's the friend, sir? Who's the friend, Kyle?
I have a good, more like family friend, but yeah, his name is Sefik.
What's he doing up here?
I haven't seen him in a little bit of time. I don't know why he would have business up here.
Well, Tilna, did he say that he was staying around town? Or have you seen him since?
I haven't seen him since. He said he was going to be at the Northlook that evening, and I went hoping to meet him, but he wasn't there.
Interesting. Well, Call, keep an eye out for your friend. I mean, I'd hate to he's at least worth questioning for sure. I'm not saying like he's a suspect, but
yeah, I would like to
he was
speak
looking
to
for
him as
Argyle.
well.
Yeah.
He seemed too nice too nice. Like they're
Well,
both of them. in fact.
Sefik is a nice guy.
Does he seem like a pillar of the community?
He's reasonably good. He keeps to himself, quiet. He could be suspicious, but not.
He had a smirk to him, kind of
Murderers
like
usually
he knew
are.
something. I mean, he's not a pillar of this community. That's the only time I've ever seen him.
All right.
Is there
I'll keep
anything
my eye
else
out.
I can help you all with?
You've been so helpful. Just maybe try and rest easy. Try to put this out of your mind, and we're going to try and take care of it.
Once our friends are done investigating upstairs, I think we'll probably be on our merry way. So we'll leave you be for the rest of the day. The tea is delicious, by the way.
Well, thank you.
Elena takes a sip.
It's good tea. It's significantly better than anything you guys have been able to get from the curtain. Anything?
Looks
Zeke
over at Laurel, just like,
Oh, yes.
Anything Zeke and Farron want to do before heading down?
I just want to talk to Tilna really quick, but
Okay.
I don't see anything magical in the room left behind. Right?
Mm-mm.
It was just the ice dagger, which now their sheriff has.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then no, that's about it for him.
So the three of you downstairs see your two friends descend the ladder.
What did you find?
Y'all say anything?
It's hard to Tilna, if I can. Which direction was Argyle's body?
He was next to the bed, facing the window if he was standing.
Okay.
I think that would put his back to the door into the room.
Okay. Interesting. Thank you.
You're all welcome. Please, if Mr. Van Houten was... I mean, he paid quite significantly more than I asked, so if you can find his killer, I think we'd all be better for it.
It's bad enough what's going on around here. We need to add murder on top of it. Well, if that's all, I look to the rest of the team. We'll get out of your hair.
Zeke and Farron, have you had any tea yet? You should definitely. Yeah. It's good.
Zeke will accept the cup and take a sip. Is it good? Is it?
It's very floral, and it's more on the back end where the scents are. Like you can smell it more than taste it, and it's wonderful.
Okay, so it doesn't need anything. Okay. I don't think Zeke would understand the nuances of stuff. So, okay, that's fine.
It's good tea.
Excellent. Yeah, he'll drink it.
And the tea does warm you all up before you head back out. Tilna wishes you all to stay warm and good luck.
Stay safe. They might be out there. And
Stay
then
warm.
he just leaves.
You leave her looking thoroughly confused. She was kind of like mid-wave, and then just nods and closes the door slowly.
Did we want to check out anywhere else? Zeke, did you want to go talk to
I can't.
your gnome friend? Possible friend?
Yeah, maybe we should, because if it is the Nominati, and maybe this gnome will know what's going on, and maybe they'll be very willing to give us information. But I don't think this is the Nominati.
You don't.
Well, the murder objective doesn't make a lot of sense for them,
Okay.
and so I don't know why they would kill somebody with
Just
an
randomly.
ice dagger.
Right.
Yeah, they're not really in the murdering of normal people. They're more into murdering like nobles and really good magicians, and they're more like sabotaging courts, and not really the like us, like
Yeah, understood. Let's go to the House of the Morning Lord then.
So
Yeah, that's a weird name. I don't like what does he
anybody
think
can-
he's a lord?
Anybody can roll a religion check if they like.
Oh boy. No. Laurel has one religion.
That's a 17.
I got 12.
13.
6.
All right, so Zeke, you rolled. No, Farron rolled high. So Farron, the Morning Lord. That sounds like the name given to Lathander, one of the gods of the general pantheon. It's a very good god. So
I'm trying to take notes, and my cat is assaulting my pen right now.
Intruder!
Please let me take notes.
No! No! Bull crap!
Stop!
She's something else. Hold on.
So heading northeast, weaving through the town.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Little mischief.
Heading northeast through the town, weaving your ways. As you're heading through some of these less than main roads, streets and such through the town, you do see more abandoned buildings. Not all of them wide open like that, but several of them boarded up and closed off. As you approach the northeastern edge of the city, you can start to see the wall heading up, and you see one steeple taller than all of it. And it looks very House of the Morning Lordy.
Great. That's where we head.
Gee, I wonder who he worships here.
Looks pretty Morning Lordy.
No idea
As
who
you
he
get-
worships.
As you
No
get
idea.
a little closer, you can see that there is a symbol of a sun on it. Looks like it has rays coming off it. There is a significant amount of light coming from within, more than you've seen in any other building. The doors look like they're unlocked, and it looks very welcoming inside. You can see through the windows a number of wreaths and braziers and steaming cups of liquid, incense burning. It's very, very temple-y.
Okay, get inside, close the door quickly.
And you hear a quiet argument. You hear a feminine voice. No. I told you. It's Aminater. Lathander is a usurper to Aminater's power, and I do believe that you are wrong. And you hear a small male voice. Listen! It's Lathander. Aminater died forever ago, and Lathander took over. I told you, I came here to help. But you need to get your priorities and everything straight. And you see a human half-elven humanoid, and it is a figure the same general size as Zeke. However, seems to be significantly more bundled up than all of you, to the point where the figure vaguely resembles a teddy bear with a gnome face. And he seems to be very animatedly gesturing at the priestess.
Well, Jacqueline wants this gnome, but
Yeah, I'm very curious about the gnome.
no. Hi. Oh, hello.
Hello!
My goodness. What you guys talking about?
Oh, the finer... They're not the finer points. It's the truth. It's just how it is. Abenater is the Morning Lord, and Lathander is a usurper.
Who's Abelknocker?
Did you say
I thought your
Nominator?
name was Nobble. I don't. Hang on. Knobberknocker. Forgot his
Knobberknocker.
name.
Oh, for goodness sake.
I don't have my notes open.
I am Copper Knobberknocker. She's referring to Amenater, the original Morning Lord.
Are you saying Nominator?
Aminator, for God's sake.
Common otter.
Knobberknocker.
River otter.
Nobbernotter?
Auburn New
I have a
Knocker.
headache.
Call me Copper.
Aaron, it's okay.
Copper.
I'm Copper.
Copper. Please, do for the gods, yes.
Her
Copper,
imaginary
yes.
friend is Amenater.
Oh god.
Oh, you have an imaginary friend too?
Oh, good lords.
So Aminater is the Morning Lord?
And Priestess Mishan, as she introduces herself, I am Priestess Mishan. I am priestess of the Morning Lord, and yes, Amenater is the Morning Lord. He's the one. He brings the morning. He brings the sun. Brings the warmth.
Did he bring the death of this dude over in town earlier today? That's what we're trying to figure out.
Oh, I don't think they're involved with this.
Well, maybe. Yeah. Have you seen
Sorry.
any strange
Maybe.
folk around?
I don't get out much. I stay here. I live in the back of the temple here, and Mr. Copper lives on the other side there.
So then who's Lathander?
And Copper's like, he's the Morning Lord.
There's two?
Oh, dear.
There's only one. Okay, so gods can die. And sometimes new gods take their place.
These are all facts, yes?
How does a god die?
Usually through some very terrible, powerful, awful things. You all might remember, this is going back a little bit. Were you around during the second Sundering? Based on all
Can I
of your
history
ages.
check it?
Absolutely. Based on all of your ages, Zeke was alive during the second Sundering. That is when the planets of Eberron and Toril, which are slightly adjacent planes, started to almost merge again. Gods were walking the mortal plane during that time. Also during that time, the original goddess of magic and the weave, Mistral, was slain and has threw the world into chaos. A new goddess of magic came to take her place by the name of Mistra. And that did, and through the god Ao, and the compact of all that, the gods left the mortal plane, and a couple new gods had risen. So gods replacing gods isn't unheard of.
I rolled a 24.
All right.
So yeah, you know that. All that. You would have
Yep,
probably
that all checks.
read about.
You'll have to explain to me later, Elena. It's a little.
Oh, long convoluted. There's some double
Okay.
names of different people here, but don't worry.
You can make it a little juicy for me later.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I remember when the second Sundering happened. I think that was about the time the Nominati came into existence. Really
See?
started, what?
How old are you?
That's a complicated question. In Faerun years or in real years?
Can I get both numbers, please?
What?
What?
Well, in Faerun years, I'm well over 100. I've seen a century. Maybe even more. I lost count about 50 years ago. But I did spend some time in another realm where Pharaoh is from, and so I don't really know how the times,
Oh.
How do you lose count? How are you so old you lost count?
You just
What-
don't
what-
count anymore. I don't understand the question.
After a certain point in time, I'm sure you just stop counting. It just makes sense.
Like we just gave up on like birthdays or something? What is?
Well, I mean,
like,
there's
what is-
only so many numbers I can keep in my head. I mean, it took me a while to learn how to count to 7. So, I mean, eventually you just stop.
And your age was the number you chose to give up?
Well, I mean, you're young. You'll understand in 50 years or so.
Copper kind of looks to Zeke, like wide-eyed. He's like, "You've heard of the Nominati?"
What? You know of this?
I've only heard whispers. I thought they were not real.
My young lad, no. The Nominati has been controlling this world for so long. I've lost count. And he looks at Call. And they are just weaving their magic everywhere in this world.
I think they're
I
part
have
of the
been-
reason why she doesn't believe in Lathander and still thinks it's Aminator. Feeding misinformation.
I mean, they could just be in her brain waves, just changing how she thinks of stuff.
And Priestess Mishan, if there was ever a pearl-clutching moment, she is controlling my brain. You are very crazy. I sure
Listen,
say.
when you've seen what the Nominati can do for as long as I have, this is not out of the scope. They will change your brain. They will change how you see things.
Yeah, we've been seeing some stuff that kind of got you scratching your head.
They will prevent you from doing what you need to do. Like, Call here is an amazing sailor, but sometimes he sails his ships into rocks. There's no way that an amazing sailor as Call would ever do that unless it was the Nominati's fault.
It's only happened a couple of times.
And that's all they need to just make you feel like you're not good enough. And I'm telling you, Call, you are good enough. You are the best sailor in the world, and they are trying to prevent that.
And, you know,
I feel like this is true.
I have another friend who's kind of in on it. He's out in the cabin there. I don't know if you guys ever are gonna make it out that way, but
The cabin? What cabin?
Didn't have that open.
Farron's gonna look at Elena and just go, "What the fuck is happening?" But mostly just mouth it.
And actually, in proper reference to practical magic,
We've created a little echo chamber.
Yeah.
Oh no.
oh boy.
Oh my god. Why am I can't. Oh, okay.
My friend Macretus, he's out, he studies strange magical items, and, he's trying to end.
And he gestures to, like, everything.
But he does have a passion for hunting those folks. He's the one that told me about him.
Well, he sounds like an amazing person to go talk to about the Nominati's influence from the Ice Witch on the Icewind Dale.
He could be.
Well, this is a great lead. Elena, this is a great lead. We are learning so many things by coming here. You are so smart. Best leader.
Wonderful. I have no idea how we came to this whatsoever.
Well, if there is someone who's making a device who would end this winter, that might help our cause too. Yeah.
That would be a worthy person to actually go and talk to.
Yeah.
If you happen to find, it's out by Lonelywood. It's not too close to here. It'd be straight across the tundra to get there. So no hurry. But if you do happen to find your way out there, would you mind giving old Macretus some food and say it was from me? I'll give you some money for some rations. He's just he forgets to eat sometimes when he's working.
Don't you worry
look at
about it.
Zeke and be like, "Hey, I need you to mark that on your maps or whatever. Mark that spot so we can go talk to him."
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We will.
He absolutely does point on the map north of Lonelywood, which is the northernmost city. I will get a Icewind Dale map for next week to display. So yeah, he marks off the location of roughly where it is.
I haven't been there, but yeah, that's he said it was about there.
And with that, we're actually gonna, as you are still going over the Nominati with Copper Knobberknocker, and Priestess Mishan is there, like, starting to massage her temples. We're gonna go ahead and take our break. So everyone, hydrate up, bathroom break, whatever you need to do, and we'll be back here 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So we will see you all shortly.
Be right back.
And we're back. We last left the Agents of SHAILD as they were... Sorry, I thought something was messing up with my audio. We last left the Agents of SHAILD at the Temple of the Morning Lord with Zeke and Copper Knobberknocker comparing notes on the Nominati. I'll say his name as many times as I can, Matt.
I appreciate it.
So Priestess
Wow,
Mishan is just the whole time just like...
Can I roll an insight check on Copper?
Absolutely.
Ooh, that's a 17 on the die. I think I'm pretty good at insight. Yep, that's a +5, so that's 22.
Seems very forthright. If he's lying, he's convinced of what he's saying.
He believes.
Everything he is saying, he believes.
Okay.
And he looks at Zeke. Have you seen their initiates' uniforms?
They have initiate uniforms?
They do.
What do they look like?
kind of like a darkish gray robe with like a reddish triangle thing going on, and they have the eye symbol right here on their chest on the red.
The eye symbol?
It's
Oh,
the Nominati. They
They're
know
they're
all, they see all.
symbols.
oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
yeah.
I've been paying attention during the talks, trust me.
Okay.
I didn't know that they have clothing now.
Priestess Mashan is still just like, oh, I don't want to talk to him about it, so I guess he's got to get it out somehow, you know? But from what I've heard of his friend Macretus there, he's really trying to help out, so he's a bit of a recluse though, so if you take your time getting out there, he might appreciate that too sometimes.
Priestess Michonne, do you head out of the temple at all ever?
I mean, I sometimes head into town to buy supplies for the temple, food and
Sure.
such. I don't venture out of the town.
But you pretty much know everyone in the town?
Oh, I would say so. I've been here for 5-6 years now. Why? What?
Oh, we're looking for someone who would be new to town, and if anyone saw him out and about.
Hey, I heard
Main-
tell of a handsome man. I was
Blue eyes, very handsome, dark
Very
hair.
striking blue eyes.
my friend Tilna there. She was
Tilna.
I-
Yes, we
she-
just
she-
came from her.
She was at the Northlook when I was stopping off there and offering blessings, and she said she was looking for him, but I hadn't seen anybody that looks like that. I think I would remember a very handsome man. There aren't there aren't too many up here.
Oh, that's sad to hear.
It's fine. I as a priestess of the order, I am abstinent, celibate, and
It doesn't matter anyway. But it is nice to look at.
oh sure.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Oh, you're most welcome. And Copper is furiously drawing out a rough sketch of the initiate's uniforms, and he does draw a figure in the uniform. It looks very much like a gnome, but with grayish skin. The only time I've seen it was on our underground cousins.
Interesting. Can I have that? I just,
Yeah, sure.
I'm putting together a little bit. Oh, thank you.
Underground cousins? What are they called?
Snurf Niblin.
Bless you.
I'm sorry?
You sneezed. Bless you.
I'm confused.
He's saying like Gesundheit, like you sneeze.
I didn't sneeze.
What
Snurf
was
Niblin?
that?
Then
Bless
what
you.
was that?
Sverf Niblin.
Sverf Niblin.
Sverf Niblin?
Livlin.
Yeah,
Is
it's,
this?
it's the technical name for deep gnomes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at Call. Are we gonna start sneezing too?
I hope not. Let's step back a couple steps. They might
Farron
do-
is very much gonna take a couple steps back.
And you can all watch Copper mouthing the word. He's like, I'm not sneezing. Deep gnomes. Deep underground gnomes.
Oh, you could have just said that.
Yeah.
There's one of our kind here. We're all types of Niblins, you know? Niblin means gnome in gnomish. The Sverf part is the deep part, underground.
I don't speak gnomish.
That's fascinating. I've never
that
met.
makes sense.
I've never met a deep gnome before.
DM,
Mm-hmm.
Would Zeke corroborate this? That, like, most of the Nominati are deep gnomes, or just that, like, this was the only one that Copper Knobber Knocker had interacted with?
You could roll a history check.
That is a natural 20 for a 25 in total.
So, has Zeke physically seen anyone that he associates directly with the Nominati ever in his life?
All the time.
Okay. So, no, this doesn't make sense. I mean,
Okay.
it does, because why wouldn't the deep gnomes? I mean, the bit you know of them, they are a little on the nefarious side. They're generally plotting. Sorry for dog squeaking. They're generally they plot. They live more often than not in the Underdark. I completely lost the word there for a sec. So yes, the deep gnomes generally live in the Underdark, and a lot of the more nefarious folk would probably live there. There are several drow cults that you have heard of that live underground, and good boy, Hunter. Yes, so deep gnomes, and because of everything else Zeke has found, it is not a uniracial organization. It is multiracial. Anyone of any race could belong to the Nominati.
He would, he definitely talked to Copper Knobberknocker, after he mentioned, I just really like saying his name, after he mentioned that, like, he's only ever seen the deep gnomes.
Well, I'm pretty sure that there are lots of different races that the Nominati has gotten together. But there's probably, like a head of the Nominati, and they're probably a gnome. So maybe you just, came across one of the like higher ups. But you said that was like an initiate clothing. Do you know, like, did they say that they had just joined the Nominati, or they'd been around for a while?
I didn't get a chance to speak with him. He was kind of dead.
How?
Who was dead?
The deep gnome initiate of the Nominati the one that I saw, I wasn't really allowed too close to the body, but if I could guess, he looked like he died from poison.
They'd like to do that. That's up their alley. He probably fucked up pretty bad. He probably was bragging about being in the Nominati. See, this is what they do.
But you seem to talk about them a lot. Are they targeting you too?
All the time. I am just constantly just with a giant bullseye on my back. It is exhausting. But I have to talk about them, and I can't be scared of them, and I have to show the world that they exist, because if I don't do that, then who is gonna do it? Right?
I mean, I came up here to try and get away from it, but it was up here in the 10 towns where I saw him. It was
recently.
Oh, this was maybe a year ago? I was told he was asking a lot of questions, over in, East Haven and Targos. But I didn't hear too much else. They found him only a couple days afterwards, just on the floor of, where he was staying.
Do you know what kind of questions?
He was asking about the people around town. Trying to. It seemed like he was casing the place.
Maybe.
Is he one of the murder victims?
That was this was a year ago, and I think it was poison.
A year ago. Sorry. Yeah.
A year ago.
Can I insight check Copper just to see, not whether or not he believes it, but if he's giving all the information he knows?
Sure.
Like if he's just giving what he has. That's so good for Farron. Holy crap. That's a 22.
Yeah.
He seems to be pretty forthright, much in the way that Zeke is forthright about the Nominati. There is stuff that he is obviously holding back because he seems to be a suspicious individual, like Zeke.
Okay. Alright, that's what I want. Thank you.
Is there anything else I can help you all with? I mean, with the obvious of keeping an eye out for suspicious activities of the Nominati type.
Yeah, and if you ever need to get in touch with me, my name is Cleesum Zeke, and this is Elena and Laurel and Farron and Call.
How would I get in touch with you?
We are the Agents of SHAILD.
Just ask for us, and somebody will know.
Okay.
Yeah, or send a letter in the mail.
Keep in touch with Speaker Shane. I believe she has a way of getting in touch with us.
Yeah, and Sheriff, yeah.
The sheriff,
Yep.
He doesn't talk to me much.
Why doesn't he talk to you? Copper Knobber Knocker?
I think it's to do with me going on and on about strange activities and suspicions that I have, and several of the people that I am suspicious of, but he generally proves me wrong almost every time because these people have lived here longer than I have.
Do not let him control what you feel is the truth.
I think Priestess Mishan is with the Nominati, and that's why she believes in Aminator.
He's right here.
He whispered loud enough that he was definitely trying to allow her to hear.
That's what she said. She stands by what she said.
Well, listen. If it's true, if the priestess is really in the Nominati, we will find out. You and me together, buddy.
This is true.
She just mouths to the priestess.
And she's like,
She is now on my suspicion list. I'm starting a suspicion list. Suspicion list. Suspicious!
You heard that. She's suspicious. He's suspicious.
All right. Well, if there's anything else I can do, you let me know. I'll generally be here, but I'm around.
Pleasure to meet you.
Copper Knobberknocker. Pleasure to meet you as well.
Pleasure.
You
Copper.
stay safe, Copper Knobberknocker. Don't let anybody bring you down or come after you. And if you need us, you know where to find us. We are the Agents of SHAILD, Copper Knobberknocker.
I will remember that. And I
All
will
right.
pass anything on to Priest.
and you see
The
him
Call's
like,
gonna run up to him and just like shake his hand.
You're very enthusiastic, sir.
lost my headphones there.
It was great to
Inspiration
meet you,
point to
sir.
the DM. Um, before we like exit the building, so where should we go to next? Should we head back to the caravan and talk things over?
Paul kind of goes up to Laurel and he's like, I'm really curious about this guy that everybody's been talking about.
Yeah, Zephyr?
He seems like it'd be my friend Sefik, but the description doesn't totally match. His eyes aren't blue as they say. And if it is him, I would really like to make contact with him.
I'll probably know why his eye color has changed if it sounds like him. The only thing that's different about him is his eye color, correct?
From what I can tell, it's like pretty much the same, but his eyes are brown. They're not blue.
Maybe he's been enchanted.
And did you two also notice how, like, flustered and flush, like the color came back to her cheeks, kind of like she was talking about a guy she was interested in, Tilna? And of course, well, Priestess is, as celibate as she is, still even takes an eye on him. He seems to have a way with the ladies. Or he seems to be that attractive.
Well,
he could very well be charmed or just unnaturally attractive.
Well, he's not my type, but yeah, he's okay. He's a good-looking guy.
I get to see him. He's not my type, so hey.
From what you remember about him, Call, he because of his reserved nature, he wasn't really a ladies' man.
Yeah. He's quiet. He's a good guy. He's quiet, but he's got his quirks, but he's not like overly suspicious looking. Like, I don't know. Just if it's him, I'd really like to make contact with him. It's
really
been a
confirm
while.
that suspicion then, hey?
Yeah.
Makes sense. Sorry, I'm starting to speak like the locals. Oh my. We should probably either get going or go to the caravan. I'm starting to speak like everyone here.
Since we know a little bit more, I think I'd like to take a look at the ice dagger again. Just maybe there's something on it. Because I thought maybe we'd see something at the crime scene, but there really wasn't anything there, and just maybe the dagger has something more.
I was gonna ask you about that. What was the crime scene like?
Oh, I mean, we took a look at. There's a window, but the window didn't look like it'd been opened. But maybe it'd been opened. I mean, there's so much snow that falls here. It's really hard to tell. And they'd have to climb it would just be very uncomfortable. And then it sounds like the body fell away from the door to the room. So I'm not sure how the murderer got in. But
if there was something there, we didn't see it.
Yeah. That's why I think maybe just one more look at the ice dagger before we go back.
I had an idea about that. Didn't Copper Knobberknocker say McCreedus was a magical specialist? Maybe we should take the dagger to him.
Yeah, I could take a look, and if I can't get anything out of it, then maybe he knows more.
Zeke, are you able to see if the dagger had any magical properties? Did we check
I can.
That?
Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't think about it at the time. I thought maybe there'd be, something at the crime scene, so.
Yeah, let's head back to City Hall real quick then.
So you all head back out into the cold, and as you're leaving, Copper and Priestess Mishan go right back to... It seems, now that you have spoken to him, it's a little bit more of like a friendly jibing back and forth about like whose god is real and which one. Because, essentially, Lathander and Aminator, they're the same. It's just literally one replaced the other. They're the same. So it's they have the same beliefs, and they just kind of, rib each other about who's real and who's not. So back into the cold you go, heading through town. And I'd say you guys went straight to town hall first thing after getting there, so probably now would be around noon. And you do notice to the south the barest hint of light on the horizon. And in the time it takes you to walk back to town hall, it's gone. Back into town hall you go, and... Oh, you're back, eh?
Hi, Guy.
Oh, hey. Agents?
No one came in to do anything, right? You been safe?
Oh, no, it's been quiet. The sheriff and the speaker there, they've just been seem to be doing paperwork. You haven't been gone too long, so I don't think there's been much time for anything to happen.
Okay, just keep an eye out. You never know.
Oh, always. And he goes back to his book.
Let's go and see the sheriff.
Yeah.
So as you head back towards the sheriff's and the speaker's office, you do notice that the door opposite theirs is now open. And in the speaker and sheriff's room, there's only the sheriff, and he's at his desk, seeming to be doing paperwork. Welcome back.
Hi, again, Zeke. If you remember us, we're the Agents of SHAILD. This is Elena and Laurel and Call and Farron and
Yep.
And okay, okay, good.
It was like an hour and a half ago.
Well, I mean, time is weird for everybody. I'm just curious. If we went to go talk to Tilna. Tilna. Yeah, and we looked at the crime scene. Do you mind if I just take a quick look at the dagger again?
Yeah,
I didn't really get a good look the first time.
And he picks up the bag that you saw him put it in earlier, and he hands it over to you. Says, "Be careful with that."
Yes, wear a glove.
Okay.
A mitten.
Do I have gloves? Yes.
Oh, everybody was given gloves with the vinegar.
Okay, I wasn't. I don't remember. These are little details, so my brain does not absorb.
That's all right. That's what I'm here for.
He takes his goggles and he places his goggles on, and with some gloves, and he will cast Identify on the ice dagger.
This is a dagger of the Frost Maiden. It is cursed. It deals cold damage to both the wielder and who they're attacking. The details of the curse are fuzzy at best, even with the Identify spell.
Spooky.
Spooky. What do you see, Zeke?
Beyond that, with the Identify spell, you also know that this is made from ice. It was grown using magic.
Grown?
Like a crystal would be grown, kind of.
Oh, okay.
Are there symbols etched into it, or are these just like inherent information?
Information you get via the spell.
Via the spell. Okay.
Wow, this is I don't want that.
And he'll put it back into the bag and drawstring that up and put it back in front of the sheriff.
Yeah, I don't want that. I don't want that at all.
What did you see, Zeke?
That is well, it's cursed, so don't touch it. And it definitely belongs to the ice witch.
What do you mean curse?
Belongs to the ice witch.
Well, it it's really, really cold, and it will start to hurt you with the cold. It will start to like creep up your arm because it's so cold. So I wouldn't touch it.
So you gotta really want to hurt somebody to use it.
And willing to take a hit for it, too.
Yeah, whoever was wielding it really hated these people because don't touch cursed items. That's rule number 1. Don't do that.
I'm really glad you have the ability to see.
Yeah, well, I got these cool goggles.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
some great work, Zeke.
Thank you. But yeah, don't touch that, Sheriff. Don't touch that.
Can
Should
anybody,
we
while
maybe
Zeke is
bring it with
using,
us?
while Zeke is doing the inspection of it, can anyone that would like to make a perception check besides Zeke?
Yes, I was
Because he
actually
is
going to
busy.
do that on the other room, personally speaking. 5.
That's a
19.
net 20 for
Oh.
25.
Okay.
Boop, boop.
So as you're watching Zeke focus in his goggles, you do notice runes appear on the outsides of the goggles, on the direct sides of both. So no matter way he turns while he's activating it, there is a triangle with an I and a G on each side.
So, what?
Like
Is
like
that-
an I.
No, I get it. I get it. Was that given to him by the Nominati? I
What do you
keep
say,
it to
Laura?
myself. I
Oh,
keep it to myself.
Never mind.
This is in my mind. Oh, I'll have to talk to Zeke. I'll do this. I'll have to talk to Zeke later. Okay.
This from now on means we're
Yeah.
in our minds thinking
We're
about
in
it.
our minds.
We're saying
Laurel
this to
will
ourselves.
remember this.
Elena, you notice that the sheriff just kind of looks suspicious at everybody, more of like the way a law enforcement officer looks suspicious to everybody, not in any malicious way. That's what you noticed with the 5. You were slightly distracted.
I'm also distracted as well because she was going to look at the. I was curious about the other room as well. She's definitely keeping that well aware in the back of her mind.
Okay,
She's keeping that in the back of her
I'll-
mind.
I'll say with the 5, you were distracted by looking across the hall, and you see Priestess Mishan going through a bunch of bookshelves. It kind of almost looks like a library. Not Priestess Mishan, Speaker Duvessa.
Oh, okay. I'm just like, that was fair. That's a little sus. No, okay. Let this scene happen here. I'm gonna go into see Speaker Machine.
Duvessa? Yeah, I made you do it too,
Yes.
don't worry.
Devessa, thank you. Sorry.
Sheriff Copper
Oh,
Knobberknocker.
it's okay. There's so many names being flung around. It's good.
She's blonde and she's pretty. Anyways.
So you see the speaker, she just seems to be thumbing through some books in the other room, putting it back, take another one. And she sees you. Oh, hello.
Hello there, Speaker. Are you looking for something?
Hey, just looking through old records. Trying to keep busy towards, there isn't a lot going on right now, fortunately. But just looking across, we do have midwinter coming up soon, and might try and do some sort of a festival. Although that might be a little uncouth, as that is a holy day for the Frost Maiden. So we might skip that. Don't want to make her think we're, well, maybe if we had a lot of fun on that day, I might really stick it to her.
Does Elena have any actually working knowledge of the Frost Maiden per se?
You can roll a religion check.
Roll it. That's better than the 5 I got before. 19.
Not a lot of information, as what you do know is she is a lesser goddess. Her domains are cruelty and winter. And yeah, I think that's about it.
I mean, certainly. Other question as well. Is she associated and known as an ice witch and referred to as such? Or are these two different people?
It seems to be a slightly derogatory term used for her, but
Gotcha.
she is the ice witch, the frost maiden, the cold crone, a good number of names, but they all refer to Oral.
Okay. Help me out here, speaker. Has anyone tried to make contact or speak with her, or...
Well, I mean, it's kind of one of those things, like, sure, you can try and talk to a divine being and all, but it's a matter of whether they're going to respond. And, I mean, 2 years now we've been trying to plead with this frost maiden, and it hasn't gotten any better. Progressively, it's gotten, I would say, a little bit worse every month or so.
So if we're able to figure out what she wanted or something like that. Worst comes to worst, your idea for a midwinter activity, if you make it big enough and loud enough and it does upset her quite a bit, maybe she'll make an appearance. Maybe she'll even try and... Maybe then you can
like
try and talk to her.
The opposite of cruelty would be fun.
Absolutely, I
Or
agree with that.
kindness.
So yeah, we have the Festival of Midwinter. It's coming up the middle week of next month. So it's only, oh gosh, 13 days away. It's kind of like, under the best of circumstances, it would be a week-long celebration. But I don't really think people are going to be, out and about doing all fun activities in the cold.
I mean, if you found creative ways to make everyone warm, it would definitely lift everyone's spirits. It's been kind of desolate here for a lot of time. There's been a lot of death. Even coming up here, we experienced quite a bit of it. We had to take care of one of those unfortunates who came back as these cold and light things. And we've come across things that were frozen in place that were living at one point. They're probably not living anymore. We came across all of these things, speaker, and
There's been a number of
dreadful.
rumors. Quite a number of rumors. And most of them relate to that and things being attacked out in the darkness, in the snow, strange lights, strange beings. Plus, the humanoid sacrifice thing. I'm sorry to say it, but that's terrible.
It is. Are there people here that are demanding that you do it here?
I mean, it's kind of like, what if we all did it? If everyone was doing a humanoid sacrifice, would that be enough to appease her? But we don't. I'm not okay with it.
I have a question, Speaker Devessa. If doing human sacrifices as it is just not appeasing her, if things are getting worse, then why try to appease her at all?
Well,
Perhaps she's deaf to what is going on in the Ten Towns.
That's
One
why
of her domains is cruelty.
I'm okay with like the superstitious sacrifices of warmth and light, because it's superstitious because we don't really think she's actually listening to us at all, because
And it's more symbolic than killing a life.
A while back, I think the sheriff had told you about the frost druids came by at one point, and they tried to convince us that the only way to appease her was through humanoid sacrifice.
Do you know how to reach out to these druids?
No.
No. Yeah, I
They-
think I've
they-
already asked that.
They kind of come and go as they please, and they're not seen in between. We don't really know where they go. They kind of just walk off into the snow and disappear.
Do they have a particular dress?
Kind of similar to most of the people in the 10 towns.
Okay.
Warm gear, furs. However, usually a little bit more covered in frost and snow, to the point where it's obvious they have not been inside the walls of a town or a warm building in a while.
Good to know.
Do you all think that maybe an apology letter of some sort, type prayer, would work?
To Oral?
Oh, you know.
What do you have to apologize for?
I don't know, being in her way or something.
Oh no, I don't think.
I'm not gonna go anywhere, but I'm sorry about it.
Tell Oral to kick rocks. That's what
I mean, it sounds like kicking rocks in a glass house, that's for sure. But personally, even like a group circular prayer or something like that run by the priestess in town as well, that wouldn't hurt either. If anything, that would just help to lift spirits. And Elena looks directly at Laurel and just like, I think what needs to be done is some form or other of direct contact with the Frost Maiden. And she particularly
Alright.
uses the words Frost Maiden, not Ice Witch.
Right.
As speaker, has anyone tried to go to her?
I mean, it's not like, Lathander and having temples and stuff. It's kind of like we don't know where to go to speak to her. The entire area is kind of her domain. It's cold. It's winter. So, I mean, in theory, some of us have gone outside and, tried to speak words to her to ask her to leave us be. But it seems to fall on deaf ears.
We'll get a message to her.
In the meantime, I think we're going to be here for quite a bit of time. So, if there's anything that you need for, say, the Midwinter Festival, which sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun, I'm sure we'd be able to help.
I'll speak with Priestess Mishan and see if we can get some sort of maybe like a festival of the Morning Lord going and try and get the spirits up and everybody feeling all warm and happy. See if that works.
Ale usually helps.
Morale is the biggest thing. It usually breaks or, helps and maintains the populace.
Sure does. Speaking of ale, have you been to the Northlook at all? They've got the Bryn Shander stout on rotation, and it's pretty great.
What?
I think that sounds like a good time for us to go and take a break and have
that sounds
an ale.
Oh, sure.
And a
Fair.
warm meal.
Fair,
yeah.
We're going to this tavern now.
Now.
Nothing is better than getting, I was going to say we're going to be at the watering hole, meeting everybody. Great. Okay, wonderful.
Get the stew. It's real good.
Ooh. Yeah, definitely. It's food not from the curtain, therefore.
Is that like a combo meal? Does it come with the ale?
I mean, I'm sure you can order them together. I
We'll
don't
do
see why
just that. We'll do just that. All right, guys, we got our information.
All right. Well, if there's anything else I can do for you, I'm generally here most of the day.
Well, thank you again. And we'll head out. Let's go to the Northlook.
Yeah.
Was that what it was called? The Northlook. Let's go.
Yeah.
Do we have any sense of time with there being no light?
Very little. I would say that none of you particularly feel tired, so you at least know that it has not been a full day.
So this could be like it's a 5 o'clock somewhere situation.
Oh, of course. I mean, it could be a breakfast beer. It could be a lunch beer. I mean,
if it matters, it is mid-afternoon.
Okay. Well, I was just gonna say, Farron's gonna try his damnedest to kind of keep track of time and stuff. Like, at least, it's been 4 hours since we slept, or something like that.
Okay, sure. Yeah, you'll be able to keep a rough idea of when you start to get tired. Onward, you head off out of town hall. Guy waves you out. He says, "I'm keeping my eye out," and he doesn't look up from the book. Back out into the streets you go. Still, you are the only 5 that can be seen.
Call.
Yes.
Do you believe me now?
It wasn't that I didn't believe you at the first. It's just the more that I'm seeing, like, yeah.
The more that it makes sense?
Yeah, it's starting to make sense.
Right?
And, like, with your stories, and now we heard
Copper Knocker. I know.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, there's more. And then now they're talking about these underground gnomes coming with these dress with the triangle on their stuff. And
exactly.
It's making a very strong case. And like, and it's confusing, but I'm starting to. I feel where you're coming from now. I got a little bit better understanding, I guess, and we should keep an eye out for these triangles. I haven't seen the triangles yet, but like I said, we just got to keep our eye out, and maybe things will start falling in place, and we'll get this thing solved.
Yeah, we should. Everybody, just keep your eyes out. Look everywhere. They can be hiding behind doors and in alleyways and on rooftops. They're everywhere.
Well,
as I said before,
just know my sword will always defend you from this Nominati. So I got you.
am so touched, Call. That is the sweetest thing. You're a good man, Call. You're a good man.
And you as well.
We've got a good team here.
It's like I said before, it could very well be possible. We need to consider all possibilities, and then as more information comes in, eliminate each and every one of them.
Have you not been hearing there's more information coming to the little Knocker guy, and yeah. And then there's the other guy we got to go talk to that's dealing with the magic out there.
Who's trying to stop the winter. Yes, I've been aware of that information as well. That's very key and very important information we need to know.
Hopefully he's trying to stop it and he's not causing some shit.
Elena!
Hopefully.
What do I have to do to get you to believe me?
Oh, I more than believe you. It could very well be that... It could very well be. I'm not going to rule this out as...
I'm a little worried about the language you're using. You're being very passive, and I worry that maybe you're making fun of me a little bit, because this is really important, and I just want... I want you to believe me.
She's got a lot on her mind, too, Zeke.
I am so sorry. Did they attack you, too?
Not so much, and she kind of looks to Laurel to just like kind of like, I got this. Now's not the time. But she looks actually she doesn't do like the lower herself down to like, looking at a kid. She actually goes to whatever Zeke's height is and matches his eyes. If I personally ever made you feel bad when I said something that invalidated what you said, I would like to apologize for that immediately. 100%, I believe what you say. It could very well be, and I understand that what I'm saying does sound passive. I hear that now, and thank you for pointing that out.
I am so touched. You are all so amazing people. I have never traveled with such great people before, and thank you.
Call kind of gently grabs Zeke and raises him up to an eye level with Elena.
And Elena kind of like follows up her like regular height and just like, oh, okay. Are you okay with this? Okay.
Zeke, you feel a familiar like pinch and kind of like a nibble on your ear, and then a whisper from Pharaoh. They seem nice and Draconic.
They really do. They seem like super nice people. And they weren't immediately mean to me when I brought up the Nominati, and they're just really
seem confused. You're gonna have to teach them.
I'm trying. I just don't think I'm doing it. I'm not used to having to we don't usually get this far. This is
and then Elena sort of like sums up and just kind of takes his little hands in hers, and it's just in like her gloved mittened hands and his mittened hands, and just like anything that you're willing to share, I will listen to with an open mind and an open heart. You are part of this group. It could very well be that the Nominati is 100% behind everything. And if they are, you will have blown this right off the roof and gotten right in their way. And anything that can help stop this crazy weather that's happening here, maybe make the frost, maybe not so much this, or maybe have caused this, if it was all the Nominati the whole time, man, I'm going to blow that off the roof with you, and I hope to be there.
We figured it out. I know. This is the closest I've been in a long time. This is real. This is...
At this point, you all have approached
Let's go
the
drink.
north. You see a large 3-story building. It's about twice the size of Town Hall. You can see on it says The North Look on a swinging sign outside the door. Can anybody that would like to make a perception check?
$14.
13.
8.
11.
Ugh.
What was that, Elena?
9.
Okay. So you all, the door, it's a good old wooden door, and you hear, I wouldn't say it sounds like a ruckus, but it does sound like there are people inside. You hear the clanking of dishes, and some chatting, not too terribly much. Upon opening, inside the room, there's not really that many people. There's a really grizzled looking male human behind the bar, just polishing some dishware. He's got white stubble on his head, on his chin, lots of scars. Kind of gives off the ex-mercenary, ex-military vibe. You see a couple busboys just kind of cleaning empty tables. There's only 3 tables taken. One of them is taken by a lone female dwarf. Another one is taken by 2 older gentlemen, and the last one has it looks like a couple kids kind of sitting at it.
DM.
Yes.
I meant to ask you this earlier, but I didn't get a chance. Would Zeke have caught on to any like dwarvish at all in the last however long we've been traveling with the Saxter band? Like a hello or a like slang words, just like
Yeah.
You probably would learn the dwarven word for ale.
Yeah.
Several colorful phrases from Drengir.
Okay.
And
Yeah, I understand everything he's saying.
goodbye.
Yeah, same here.
Goodbye, hello, general, not a lot. And can Laurel and Farron make history checks, please?
Ooh, history. I think that's a big fat 0, but yeah, that's a big fat 0.
Looks like Farron didn't fare so well either.
Oh my gosh, though, that's a natural 20! But a big fat 0, so
natural 1 for a 2.
Okay.
Durr.
Okay. We're gonna go forward a little bit. Those rolls will come into play, I promise.
okay.
So you all see, and the guy behind the bar, he's like, "Hey, welcome to the Northlook."
Yeah, Carl would go up to him and be like, hey, how much would a round of your best ales and a round of stews for my friends be?
We heard the stew was good.
5 of you?
Yeah.
Does it look like there's more?
Just making sure there aren't more coming.
Oh,
No, it's just
sorry, I just thought maybe someone was following us.
Oh, sure. No.
No.
Yeah, that'll be 3 silver.
And Carl kind of throw 1 gold down. And if you could just...
You trying to ruin the economy?
No, I'm not, friend. I'm just trying to treat my friends to their best ale.
Well, that's all we've got is the best. And he pulls out a little mini keg and a couple steins, and he says, "Here you go. Here's some Bryn Shander stout. Have at it. I'll bring the stew around in a few."
Oh, yeah.
Carl, you gentleman, you.
Thanks, Carl.
Thanks,
So,
Carl.
you said there was a table with kids at it? Like, how old? Like, kids of what?
Like kids?
Like 4 years old or like 12 years old?
I'd say the youngest is probably like 8 or 9, and the oldest is like 14. There's only 2 of them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, okay. Are they drinking stout too?
Nope, they are eating stew.
Oh, okay.
And you said there was one dwarf sitting by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
What information about them can Zeke ascertain?
Well, she, she's a little bit older. She has gray hair, wrinkles to her face, general grumpy-looking disposition, and is just kind of like looks deep in thought.
Zeke would like to go sit at the table with her.
She
And
picks up, puts her down. Who the hell are you?
Hello. You were by yourself, and I know some really great dwarves, and I wanted to maybe, I learned some dwarvish, and I was hoping, you could tell me if it's good or not, because, they sometimes are a little too nice, and, I just thought maybe I could test it out with you, if that's okay. I'll buy you some ale, if you'd like.
Well, if it's ale that's on the table, sure.
Absolutely. Always.
What's your name there, wee one?
My name is Cleesum Zeke, but you are welcome to call me Zeke. All my friends call me Zeke, and this is Pharaoh, and she is my fun companion, dragon.
Well, pleasure to meet you. My name is Lynn Trollbane.
Farron
That
and Laurel
is a
hear that name. Farron, you're like,
She was the nefarious thief from Waterdeep
that you heard about as a kid. Laurel, she
Yeah.
is the infamous bounty hunter of the Sword Coast.
Ah. Flynn. Wow. My goodness. What brings you way up here?
Flynn?
Yeah.
What a beautiful name. What a beautiful name, Farron. Isn't that a beautiful name?
You see him, like, he's visibly, like...
The Nominati got your tongue? What's wrong?
What's wrong, Fern?
Do I recognize that Laurel recognizes Lynn?
Oh, you see
yeah.
you see recognition in her face as well.
Oh, so you know too, Laurel.
Flynn is known up and down the Sword Coast. Absolutely. For their deeds.
The greatest thief of our time.
Thief?
The only
That's
thing
not
I've
what
ever
I've heard.
stolen is a couple bounties.
Yes, bounty hunter. She's
In
a fantastic
Waterdeep.
hunter.
The stories about you in Waterdeep are deep.
I've worked out of Waterdeep before, but it's usually against the nefarious folk.
Do I
You,
remember what Lynn stole?
She was purported to have attempted to steal from the Lord Council.
Okay.
Keep in mind, this is based off of a 1.
Yeah, but Matt knows that.
Yeah.
Farron doesn't.
Okay.
What?
The Lord's Alliance. Sorry.
Lord's Alliance. Okay. Ooh. You can see the gears churning in Farron's head. He can't really put this together right now. He's just gonna stare.
Hey,
Paul's gonna go up to her, and then
Yeah.
Orvis is gonna ask her, like, why are my friends so infatuated with you?
Elena hears this and laughs.
I mean, I am a kind of a well-known bounty hunter, but I don't know any other reason why. I'm not a thief. Are you thinking of Lynn Hurlbin? It's
I don't know.
Lynn Hurlbin. Yeah, that was the thief of Waterdeep. I brought her to justice, and they cut her head off.
Oh,
Wait.
okay.
Hold on.
Okay. So you brought in the thief.
Hey.
As a bounty hunter, okay. I got
Farron's
Paul's just
gears
gonna
are
step
churning even harder. Like he's mad at himself now.
Elena's gonna help Farron just sit in his chair. Just sit and think about this. It's okay, big guy. Don't worry.
I'm gonna.
names.
These names.
I'll bring Yami out, and I'll sit in the chair, and I'll call Yami up to my lab and be like, "Do you remember this?" And I'm gonna start talking to Yami and Draconic, like, "Do you remember Lynn, the thief?" That's about what I expected. That's what my brain feels like right now.
Hey, so, besides practicing your dwarvish on me, is there anything I can do for you?
What are you doing up here? I mean, I'm just curious.
You can make
Are you
a
looking-
persuasion roll.
Are you on a bounty? Okay.
You can roll for
persuasion.
persuasion.
Well, we heard about the murders, and I'd like to help her if possible.
You
And
can
we
have
were just
advantage on that.
Maybe you'd
Good.
like to come and maybe you're helping?
Are you serious? I got a 4, then a 5. Well, that makes 9.
It's work related, but I think I might have it handled.
Oh, that's excellent. So the murders?
What you know about the murders?
Absolutely nothing. Nothing. You're a little scary. I just.
She kind of leans forward. She's like,
Did you get a look at that weapon?
It's cursed.
Hey. It's also made of ice.
I wouldn't. Don't touch it.
I made that mistake already.
He looks at her hands. Is there any like visible marks left by the dagger?
It does look like she has the remnants of frostbite on one of her hands, on her left palm.
I would like to cast Cure Wounds on her, if she will let me.
Well, I think I could try
make a general
to.
charisma roll.
$18.
Hey.
You seem alright. I'll let you take a look at that.
And he'll just he'll cast Cure Wounds on her hand and try to clean up some of that frostbite.
So the frostbite completely goes away. And she's like,
Hey, it's been some time since I've dealt with any kind of magical hero there. That's...
I just dabble. I'm really more into the hunting down of nefarious organizations than I am into the healing. But sometimes I get stuck with stuff, and I just gotta heal it up real fast. So
You and I are kind of in the same trade. I only go after individuals, though.
oh, so are you after someone right now?
Hey,
You said you're here work related.
I'm here at request of the sheriff. He asked me to look into the matters.
I don't think he likes me very much.
He takes some warming up to. He still don't really like me. Of course,
Well,
I told him to
we're
go
in the
fuck
same
himself
boat.
like every day for that I've met him, so...
Wow. How do you say that in Dwarvish?
Paul says it to her.
Call speaks Dwarvish.
Wow.
Yep.
Hey, your accent's pretty good there, Addy.
Had some
Aaron's gonna
practice.
echo it, except really poorly, because he kind of speaks Dwarvish, but not really.
Performance check at disadvantage, please.
Zeke would also like to try to.
Performance check at disadvantage as well.
Okay.
That's a 3 minus 2 for a 1.
And non
You need
nat
to be
one.
more
alright.
drunk, Elena says.
A dirty 1, as they call it.
You got a 4.
That's a 4.
You both need to be more drunk.
Call and Lynn. Well, Call. You find their attempt hilarious because it's bad, and they say something extremely rude instead. And you see
Nice.
Lynn look completely offended.
Oh no.
Guys,
What did
What
you
did
say
you
about
say?
my entire family?
Okay, which one of you was that?
hey,
I'm fucking with you. It's fine. You didn't even say any real anything. It's
yeah.
Farron's gonna look kind of sheepish. Look up from his stout at Lynn. I'm sorry for calling you a thief.
It's alright, I've been called worse. Today.
Fair enough.
Well,
Yeah, but really, we are here looking into the murders, and
we are the Agents of SHAILD.
I've never heard of you.
This is
We are
true.
new.
I assumed. So,
This is Elena. She's our leader, and this is Laurel, and this is Call, and this is Farron, and I'm Zeke.
it's a pleasure to meet you all. You said you were looking into the murders as well.
yes, as well as the cause. Well, several things. Yes.
I have some theories. You want to hear them?
Yeah.
We
I
got
love
nothing to do.
theories.
So, all 3 individuals, they come from towns that do the humanoid sacrifices. 2 of them we could directly tie to being potential sacrifices.
and they ran away. The third one, I don't know quite as much about as what happened up in Targos, but we can assume at least a little bit. This has something to do with the sacrifices, so some way dealing with the Ice Witch.
Right. So how would you describe these towns that do the sacrificing? Are they rougher around the edges than Bryn Shander?
You could say that. Dugan's Hole is more on the unfortunate side than rough. They've had the unfortunate...
Sorry.
They've had the unfortunate time of their speaker passed away several months back, and things have kind of gone to shite. Targos is... I have some suspicions about that town, but nothing I can prove. I think they're some way in with the Syndicate.
Syndicate?
Hey. Zentarum.
Oh, yes.
I've been trying to bring them down for some time. They're big, and I am one. Kind of like your friend over there and his strange organizations.
Oh, I thought you was talking about my statue. Sorry.
Would Zeke associate anything she talked about with the Syndicate to the Nominati?
Yes. In Zeke's mind, any criminal organization is either run by, openly or secretively, by the Nominati.
He's just gonna like lean in towards her. You know about the Nominati also?
She leans in real close.
No idea what you're talking about.
You talked about the Syndicate.
Hey, the Zentarum.
Yeah, the Nominati is in charge of that.
I think it's a beholder, but sure, if you say so.
Beholder? No. Nominati.
I think it's a beholder named Xanathar, but that's just...
Yeah.
You never know. All these organizations have some sort of...
They're all linked. Yeah.
So, sure.
Yeah, they're all the Nominati.
About this time, the stew shows up. And
Yes.
Hey, look, Stu.
It smells amazing. It smells like food after Pharaoh and Zeke got through with it. But it looks like real food. And that's different from a little while. It's not veggie straws, it's not meat squares. It is cuts of beef, large chunks of vegetable in a dark brown looking stewy broth. It smells amazing.
Bread?
There is a big old hunk of crusty bread in each bowl.
Oh my
All just
gosh.
one shots the stew and like sink and drinks the whole hell.
Yeah.
Another round for Call.
Call,
Zeke is chanting like chug.
Call, you take
chug.
3 points of fire damage as the stew is
Oh my
friggin'
God.
hot.
Oh,
It is piping hot. It's delicious. The little bit that you got to taste before it seared your taste buds off. The ale is nice and cool, and it cools things back down.
and of course you see Elena just like spoon it properly and just like, it's hot.
This is true.
It looked like you had a time with that.
Elle made it better. It's okay.
Now, in this setting, does Elena look, like a little out of place? Like,
Yeah,
like,
very much so.
So she's like all sitting proper, and
She has the whole shebang. She got a napkin
pinkies
across her
out.
lap. She's got some form of napkin across her lap. Bend of the wrist, into the bowl, out with the twist. Like, she's got table manners up the ass.
I love it.
Lynn is just holding the bowl in one hand, sipping it.
Paul looks at Farron and he's like, was I supposed to sit down?
Yeah, there's a chair.
I've eaten in front of you guys before. And that's a true fact.
But it feels more out of place now. It's weird. Your manners are immaculate, though.
With
I see.
Zeke,
I see. And then she just goes, elbows on the table, but still manages to eat. Just like, it still looks dignified, even though she has her elbows on the table, and just like, and looks
Laura
at it
makes
like
eye
it's just like
contact,
better.
and she's like,
would Zeke associate this Elena behavior with like nobility?
Make an insight check.
And depending on what you roll, I'll answer for you.
Paul's just like, that's not exactly how you do it. You gotta just,
Just gotta go in. It's a 12. It's not great.
You're not sure.
It's a quirk, maybe.
Can I have everyone please make a perception check?
17.
16.
19.
Roll a 2, so 4.
15.
Laurel, as this exchange is going on, you just happen to glance out one of the windows on the side of the building,
Yeah.
and you get a brief look of a paler male human with dark hair and silver wings on the side of his head in a black ponytail, well dressed, and you think you got a quick look of his eyes, and they seem very blue.
I leap up without a word and I go running, dashing outside.
Okay, make a perception check.
Oh, another one?
Where's she going?
Elena's gonna get up and
where's
go
she
on her
going?
heels.
That's another 19.
You go over by the window where you saw this individual, and you plainly see footprints, and they end at the corner of the building.
Laurel, what is it? What is it?
Lord,
Weird. Sorry. I thought I just saw your friend there, Call.
Where?
He was just walking, and I point to the track of footprints, but he just vanished.
Call immediately starts walking outside.
Did he know
Some
magic
footprints.
at all?
Or he could have just turned the corner.
Yeah, Call's walking out the tavern.
The
I'll
footprint,
go with Paul.
the tracks end, and they do not go back. They just, as if he took a step into nothing.
Yeah,
if
Call's
you-
just gonna
Go ahead.
run outside and he's gonna go to the stair. He's just gonna yell for his friend. See if he gets any type of just yell Civic.
The only response you hear is the wind. And that's where we're going to end tonight.
Ooh.
Damn it!
Oh man.
In fairness, it is 11:30.
No, yeah.
Damn it!
Ooh, that's good. That's good.
That's really good.
Oh man, you guys, that's good.
Great game tonight.
That
folks.
was a
great game.
session.
It was great.
I like to give good role play sessions. You know, not every encounter's combat.
I say, everyone out there watching, this is what to expect.
There will be
This is good.
a fair bit of role play, investigation. You know, this is going to be all over the place. I would say there's going to be dungeons, but not for a while, unfortunately. That's just how this works.
I mean, we already have the dragons, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 of them, in fact.